You are now live. Yes, we are. Instagram.
Hi.
Hey, I know
we're back again.
We're upside down probably for everybody too.
I know. Are we?
Well, sideways, because they're going to be looking like this. They'll have to switch their phone.
Oh, okay, so I see.
Yeah.
So I guess, and the reason we're doing that is because being amateur videographers,
just a little bit.
And we appreciate everybody's feedback. Is same thing we noticed before is that it's difficult to see and Instagram shrinks it, and so we needed to kind of turn it like this, and we're looking for a professional to help us out.
We're hoping to add a videographer to the team.
Yeah. To the family.
I mean, yes, the family. And we need to enunciate.
Yeah. Yes.
And project our voices because we were too quiet last time. So we're going to work on that.
So we're not really yelling.
I'm not yelling.
Are you sure about that?
So this week we had 2 questions from 2 of our regular viewers. And we have a big announcement to make too.
Oh yeah, but we're not making that right now.
No, I know, but I want you to
good.
So you know what?
Stay with us.
You have to stay with us till the end because this, you guys, is huge. And
yeah.
honestly, we're still laughing about it because we didn't think we would ever.
Okay.
But you just have to wait.
But you don't actually have to stay with us the whole way through because we are going to be. Well, I don't want to put pressure on them.
Natasha, be Christy.
This news is big.
Huge. If you get that movie reference, 5 points for you.
But we are hopefully recording this, and it will be on our YouTube channel too. So you can always fast forward if you don't want to listen to
all
of
of
us.
this.
And if you watch us on YouTube, we might be in the right direction.
Yeah. You know what? It's really hard to say.
That is really kind of annoying.
No, it's fine. People can flip their phones.
It's fine. They're fine.
Okay,
so,
if you flip your phone, what does it do though?
Nothing.
Oh,
we can
okay.
see us, but it's just the comments. If they want to comment, they'll have to hold it vertically.
Okay.
Should we get into the first question?
Let's do
Okay,
it.
hold on. Before we do this, before we get into the first question, I want to say something, and I'm going to get in huge trouble for this, but I have to do this because Christical here has been working so hard. She just hit 50,000 followers on Instagram.
Woo-hoo!
And it's only taken you not too long to get there.
Well, thank
so
you.
I am very proud of her, and I had to say that.
She's so uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, it's good. we like making her uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like it.
She loves the attention. It's good. Okay.
The question is, why did you choose acrylic? This is from Carrie from Elite Nails.
Make sure you're speaking up, Natasha.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
A question for your next show, perhaps. I've heard Natasha mention she's an acrylic girl, and she says it with passion. You can tell both Natasha and Christina love what they do and how they communicate. It's so inspiring. So I was wondering, why did you, all 3 of you, decide to be acrylic techs when you started out? I know I chose gel because it was all that was offered in my town, and acrylic had a bad rap. Also, gel seemed to be all the rage. I'd love to see acrylic be accepted as widely as gel is. Yes.
We agree with
that last sentence.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
why don't you start because you
started it all.
You started from the beginning.
Well, for me, it's obvious. When I started, there was no gel. There wasn't gel for years until after I started doing nails. So it was it was a non-option at the time. Why do I like acrylic now? And we always, when I taught and when we've taught, we've always taught acrylic first, because when people ask me, I say, if you can learn acrylic and you can learn acrylic well, you can do anything. And there's fabulous gel techs out there, but it's very difficult to go from gel to acrylic. Going from acrylic, once you do acrylic and do, like I say, do it well, you can do anything. You have a lot more options. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that because it's maybe not the right way to describe.
I know, like when we used to teach beginner trainings, it would always be acrylic first, and then we would land into gel because it's a lot easier to learn. Like Yvonne said, once you get acrylic, gel is a lot easier to do.
Just because it's simple, I think for me the biggest thing is when you're working with acrylic, you're on a time limit. You have to get that product in place, and if you don't, and
But don't you find that forming it, you also have more options, I think, with forming it?
Totally.
And you don't have all that sticky stuff.
Oh, my hands are sticky. I love gel. Don't get me wrong, I do.
Yeah.
But my hands.
Yeah.
But I think as far as doing, and part of it too, I think as well, because I started with gel. I taught my daughter, acrylic, you're right. I actually started with acrylic, but I'm getting old. I started with acrylic, and I taught my daughter acrylic, and then she was teaching at the school that Christina went to, and so Christina learned acrylic, and then Christina taught Natasha, and she was teaching acrylic, and we just kind of
gets passed down.
It's a family tradition.
I do feel like I feel, and I really like gel too, but I do feel like I have a little bit more of that control. You don't have to worry about it running away. When you put it there, it's there.
If your product ratio and everything is correct.
Yeah.
But I agree. And for me, I have that, I just know, I guess it's because I've done it so long with acrylic, but I'm comfortable knowing if I pick up that bead, no problem. I'm going to be able to get my cuticle area nice and flush, build up
Drag
that
it
apex.
out in one ball.
One bead, done. And as I'm working with it, it's setting, so it's staying put. Whereas sometimes, depending on the temperature and all that kind of stuff, if you're working with gel, if it's warm, it's going to start self-leveling a lot. But that's just me.
And for me, I think with acrylic, doing acrylic extensions, I love to sculpt on a form, and I just find because you have the different stages of the curing time, you have that time to mold your shape and just get that perfect foundation, and that's for me why I enjoy doing acrylic so much, for that reason.
Pinching.
I know, pinching is a huge thing, and you know what, we were all trained on pinching right from the beginning, and I know it's a technique that a lot of people are not familiar with, so that is something that we're going to be working on to show people how to use it properly, because we do offer our pinching tool set, and it just really helps with the structure and the strength of the nail when you're sculpting.
Just here, Sugar Mama 17 says, I have clients that have stopped seeing me because they believe acrylic is trash because they choose gel. So unfortunately, when gel came out, acrylic started getting a bad rap because gel was kind of your first odorless option. And I think, and I've talked about this before too, I think that people have a false sense of, and there are companies out that advertises gel being organic and
toxic free.
Yeah, and full of vitamins, and to be honest,
that's going to be another episode. Say no more.
Don't get a false sense of security. Your odorless acrylics, your gel, they still emit vapors. You still want to work in a ventilated room. It doesn't matter that you can't necessarily smell. It is more pleasant in the environment, but you still want to be vented. And I think also too, the dust on gel is finer.
It is, and it really gets in your breathing zone.
Well, and like I've said before, it doesn't matter if it's household dust or if it's nail dust. You don't want to be breathing those quantities. I mean, I keep birds, and when I go with the birds, I wear a mask. Not because there's anything wrong with my birds, but sometimes the dust and the damp. Yeah. So it's just being smart, I think, using some common sense. And unfortunately, it is hard because a lot of the general public has enough information to make some what they feel are educated decisions, which maybe aren't
they're
quite
right. They're not fully educated questions.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some doctors, Oz, and Dr. Oz, do you remember that? Okay, there was a whole thing where he said that acrylic was bad, and then he switched and said gel was bad because you're putting your hands in a UV lamp and all this stuff. So unfortunately, media has part of it. Misinformation has a lot to do with it. And like Yvonne said, you know, just because you can't smell the vapors from a gel or anything like that doesn't mean that they're not there. So
you know what I find interesting though is that nails get such a bad rap. When you think how many years have people been going to hairdressers and bleaching their scalp and putting colors on their scalp and getting perms and working with hairspray and shampoos and
aerosol hairsprays.
well, any of the hairsprays, any of that. But yet they somehow seem to fixate on nails. Like nails is a big deal. And I think, again, it comes down to be smart. When we worked, when I had my salons, nobody worked there without wearing a dust mask and actually glasses, because you don't want bits of nail flicking off into your eye. And have a ventilated space, and you can ventilate your space well for inexpensively.
Yeah,
even big salons.
Yeah, and I think, you know, at the end of the day, it just comes down to the lack of education and knowledge for the difference between the two products.
And that's always been a big thing for Christina and I, education as a whole, right?
So do you ladies, this is Nails by Junko? Do you ladies agree that nail techs, etc. should be regulated so that we can weed out salons who use MMA or other bad products? It might help change people's minds and be well informed. This is where I have something to say too.
But there's a difference of what you're going to say.
Yeah. So, well, okay, so my personal feeling is I've had a lot of experience in the past with licensing, non-licensing, where we are. When I trained, I'm self-taught. It was, there was no licensing available. There is no licensing in a lot of areas. Then they brought licensing in, and my personal experiencing with the licensing board was horrendous. And so I kind of feel like even if it was regulated, it is not going to guarantee, it will not weed out those people. So it's our responsibility as nail techs, I feel, to properly educate our customers.
Yeah, 100%.
And the public, and do a good job. And I think the thing is, it doesn't matter whether it's regulated or not, there's always going to be situations. So I don't think regulation guarantees anything. That's my feeling.
No, I agree with you 100%. 100%.
And having been there and my experience and the people who tend to be on the boards, the examining boards, and I mean, I know there's good ones. However, they're...
Not to say that it doesn't do some good, for sure, but yeah,
I think it's a tough one. I think it's nail techs getting good work out there and really, and you know, saying that, I mean, it's us being good representatives of the industry, and don't be afraid to ever ask questions and never assume that you know it all.
Totally.
And that's one of the biggest mistakes that I have seen over the years from nail techs, is nail techs assuming, oh, I've been doing it for 5 years, I've been doing it for 10 years, I don't need any help. And it's like, I've been doing it almost 40 years, and believe it or not, I have never stopped learning in the industry.
No. And I think one piece of advice, and we see this a lot happening, and it's really unfortunate because we have some close people to us that are, you know, our friends, and we hear when you are educating your clients about certain things, what to look for, keep it as professional as possible, because unfortunately still, you know, we can be at the front of saying some things, you know, that shouldn't be said, and you know what I mean? But with the non-standard salons and all of that, it's very important when we are educating, we don't want to bash other people. We want to just give them the facts of what to look for and why it's important to look for these things, because that way you don't want to have a bad representation on yourself as a professional. And we need to uplift everyone in the industry. We need to, you know, help and encourage everyone. And if you see a tech doing something, just, you know, let them know, hey, you know, and maybe they just have no idea. Because of the lack of education, unfortunately, there's a lot of things that people learn later on as they go through.
And give them the benefit of the doubt and try and support each other for sure. And I think that those kinds of things will help better the industry overall. But you know, I mean, it really doesn't matter what profession you're in. There's always people who care about their profession and ones who don't care as much.
There's ones who it's your career and it's your passion, and then others it's a job.
And you know what? Like just a comment from Nails by Junko. Even though we put our time in, money for education, and there's a lot of people that still choose to go to these non-standardized salons, and we can't control that, we can't help that, but you just have to worry about yourself as a professional and take care of what you do.
And your clients.
100%.
And then it gives you an opportunity when they come to you to show them what it's really about.
Totally, absolutely.
Oh, our Priscilla just joined. I see her.
Oh,
Hi, beautiful ladies.
Priscilla.
Hi.
I see her.
Right there.
There she
is.
is.
Right there.
I can't see Priscilla. I think we need a picture, right?
On a
Yeah,
popsicle
There.
stick.
Oh, I know. Yeah, right here. Priscilla. She really won't need a picture.
Okay, should we move on to question
Yes.
2?
Okay, question 2 is from lovely little Keiko, and she is in Japan. She's also another regular watcher. And she says, "Hello, Lady Ducklings. It's me, Keiko again from Japan. I have a question about form application. When I was in school 20-some years ago, the only shape I was taught was square. I got to learn other shapes from the internet after that. Back in school, everything was straight, from form application to filing, but nowadays that's not the case anymore. For some shapes, forms need to be tilting upwards or downwards. I have been learning form application by each shape, but I feel there must be a logic behind all of the form application. I think it has something to do with strength and where the apex should be. Could you explain the logic? I think it's easier for my old brain to understand to tilt up or down if I understand the logic. I'm hoping I'm making sense. I thank you in advance. Love you all, including Bella, Keiko. P.S. I'm receiving my order this Saturday. I ordered Shtick It and Schmelt It. And guess what I'm doing this weekend? I'm sticking and schmelting away with all the gel I'm receiving. It will be fun."
Nice.
Thanks.
So I'm going to quickly start this one off because I always like to say when I create an extension on a form, I always call it 3 S's. Strength, structure, and shape. So I think form placement is very crucial with every shape. Or, different shape that you do. Because, if you have your form tilted up too high, too low, you're going to run the risk of having too much product in certain areas, and that's just going to overall affect your shape. And I know, Yvonne,
I think too, she's asking, I think about, like, why we're tilting up and down for certain shapes and stuff like that, and I think it comes down also to style. First, Yvonne was saying, Christina was saying, we were discussing before, style. So a lot of the Russian shaping tilt upwards. A lot of more kind of styles here in North America and that kind of stuff, we tend to still put our forms straight out or slightly tilted down slightly. But it depends on what kind of nail you're doing. If you're doing a square, you're going to want that nice straight out form. Sometimes with almond, usually I'll slightly tilt my form downwards to help create that nice almond shape.
And I think that as a foundation, doing a straight out form with your good C curve, that's going to be with your apex over your free edge, that's going to be your strongest nail. But having said that, there's lots of styles that are, the products today, they're tough. They're tough. If it's well done, whatever the shape is, I think the form placement for those kinds of things is just style. Creating a style. Like you can't do like Medina's, what does she call that?
the Russian almond?
Well,
or the
no, her shape that she did.
Yeah, she called it something.
Yeah, but there's certain styles that you have to have your form placed enough if you're going to get the look, right? Otherwise, so I think in that respect it comes down to style.
Yes.
And if it's well done, if you've got your cuticles blended well and you've still got your apex,
soundly.
Then you'll be fine.
Your form fitting nice and tight around that natural free edge, because the worst thing is to have that ridge and that ledge underneath, so the acrylic gets stuck or the gel, and then as it grows out, you have that client's pick, things get stuck in there, and it's no fun.
That notch on the side that you get sometimes too from improper form placement.
So form placement is crucial for certain things for sure, but it just comes down to playing with it and depending on the shape and the style that you're doing.
And form placement is one of the hardest things to learn.
It is very
and
difficult.
It's funny when you teach people, everybody without fail thinks,
know.
no problem, I got forms.
Oh yeah.
Why? Why is it so difficult? Because think about it, every single client that you do has a different foundation to work with. Some might be nail biters, some might have perfectly deep arch C-curve nails, which I find very difficult to place forms on. So everyone has a different nail to work with. So when it comes down to giving advice on how to properly put the form on, there are just so many ways to properly fit a form on each and every single person.
So many variables and
100%.
so yeah. So Keiko, in short, I guess.
In long.
Short
Story made long.
The short of the long.
The long of the short.
Yeah. Is that realistically, I guess, like you mentioned in your email to us too, it really comes down to the style of nail that you're doing and yeah, I guess that's it. I hope we answered that. If we didn't, just email us back.
It's really hard when you're live and we tend to be a bit of talkers anyway.
Yeah, that's the
in
thing.
case you haven't noticed.
We try to get to the point, but we kind of get straight a little bit. Aww. Susan just came and she had to go, so we'll see
bye,
you,
Susan.
Sorry.
Bye, Susan.
Great.
Is there anything else on there?
No more questions, just
Lots of hellos.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, just
It's me.
Won't you tell? Okay.
Cool. Oh no, we gotta go. No announcement today. Are you guys excited?
Well, they might not be.
They might not be.
They might not.
They might be like, oh wait, did something just
let me
happen?
see.
Maybe they're.
Oh, this is my friend from France.
Oh.
Okay, I really would like to thank Christina for her time. She always takes time for us, give us advice, information, and products, and she is so professional in speaking with people. Oh, thank you.
I'll give her a hug for you.
Oh,
She loves hugs.
I so do. Oh. Another question: how do you become an ambassador for Ugly Duckling?
Do you know, I can't even, I'm going to try not to get emotional.
Oh.
Because I can't even thank you all enough for all the support that we've had has been overwhelming, really. And, you know, it's easy to say, oh, it means a lot to us. It really does mean a lot to us. We are, I know, and I appreciate it so much, and every day we're getting multiple people wanting to be ambassadors for us. So appreciate it. We're just not sure what we're doing right now, I guess is the long and short of it. We've been so busy and trying to get things in order and trying to get your educational videos together and that kind of thing that we just haven't really had a chance to sit down and really explore how, I mean, we are, the girls that we have with us right now, I like to think that we're very generous with them, and we need to make sure that we are giving the support that they deserve as well. So it's coming up with a program and a system. We're only, I guess we're
just about
a year
2
and a half,
years.
almost 2 years in, and I know we keep saying that, but that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Can you believe that?
No, that's insane.
Well, we launched at the CNTC.
We just CNTC Edmonton.
So that'll be 2 years
2
coming
years.
up.
Yeah.
In like a couple months. You
Yeah.
guys.
That's exciting.
We're toddlers. Terrible too.
We're growing up.
Yeah,
No,
we are the
terrific.
It will always be ducklings, don't worry.
Yeah.
And you'll always be the mother duck.
Yeah, so I don't know if that answers your question or not about ambassadors. I mean, I am kind of keeping a list of everybody, and I guess the thing to do would be to send an email and tell us something about yourself, what you do. If you have social media, just so we know a little bit about you, because we aren't a company that is going to just open up and have hundreds of ambassadors, so it will be an application process as well. If that's fair. And we're happy to help people work towards that as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yep. Oh,
Was that it?
yeah, it is. I was just gonna say, we just
Oh, you're doing great in temporal nails. Practice it as much as you can. That's how I started. Oh, that's
Exactly.
from sculpting
sculpty nails.
nails.
See, that's what we
See?
like.
That's
we like
awesome.
that.
Supporting each other.
It's
Great.
very important, you guys. We
Yeah.
love it.
Share the love.
And you know, nobody really understands a nail tech like a nail tech.
Totally. Totally.
Until you
Yeah.
spend your days sitting there holding strangers' hands all day long, bent over the table, trying to create your art perfection.
You know what's funny? Javed.
Yeah.
My fiance.
Yeah,
okay, let's be honest here. He's not your boyfriend anymore.
He just got his first job barbering. He just graduated barber school in August, and I'd come home and say, oh man, I did this client today and I had a hard time with doing this on her nails and blah, blah, blah. And he would listen, and I could tell he had got that glazed over look. But now that he's doing clients and he's doing his own, creating his own art with hair, he gets it. So he comes home and he talks to me about, I had a hard time cutting the hair like this, and I'm like, you get it now, don't you?
Totally.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they're interested.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Okay, so
what do you guys think? Do you like the
Oh, look at
It's
this.
backwards.
Is it? Okay, well, lots of pockets. Lots of pockets. It's new. So if you want an apron, you can get it.
Well, the embroidery is new.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, we went to embroidery instead of the rhinestones.
Totally.
As much as we like the sparkle,
You got her.
I think the embroidery
It's
is
nice.
cleaner.
It's really nice quality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
really clean.
So, after saying...
Drum roll.
Hold on. Okay, you know what? They're going to be expecting this really amazing, fantastic thing, and they're going to go,
Well, I
think it's like when you go to a movie, and people say, oh, it was the best movie ever, and you go and you're kind of like, oh, okay.
Are we letting them down?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's
No, but you know what? Okay,
So,
personally for us though, this is a big deal.
I think
It is
it's
a
pretty,
huge
I think
deal.
it's pretty exciting for
I
us.
think we're crazy,
We are for sure.
and I told the girls we're crazy.
I don't think it's ever been done before.
Yeah. So when we first announced, when we first announced our 5K Marathon of Education class just before Christmas, I said that I would put it on if we can fill half the seats. Well, I think you might have heard us mention that we in 2 weeks oversold inadvertently, and we have a very large wait list, so we have decided to add a second class. So, but the people on the wait list will get their first option.
Yeah.
We have confirmed, of course, these two girls will be teaching. Helen will be teaching again, and so will Priscilla.
Yeah.
Medina, I'm fairly confident, but until we get the okay from her, we're still waiting on that. So we just kind of want to let people know it'll be the week following the one that we've already booked. So this one will be the week of October 22nd.
Yes.
Nails by Junko, she said it's sold out. We have a second one on.
Yeah. Our first one sold out. We're putting on a second week.
So,
Whoa!
I guess we'll have to update the website, folks.
Yeah.
So you heard it here.
Yeah. So,
Round 2.
And you guys, this is only our second year. This is only our second annual 5K.
And to be in demand that much, to have that such a huge waiting list.
well,
You know what I mean?
well, do you know what it is? I
Interest.
think what it is, interest, not, I think what it is too is that we had such a great group last time.
We did.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of like a little getaway, and everybody just really connected, and it was just a fun getaway. We've got lots of people coming from our class last October too.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Some international ones.
I think it's just great because it's education. You get to meet new friends, people you feel like you already know from social media.
Eat good food.
Oh, the food is so good.
So good.
It's all homemade.
And we got a couple little special things that we're
Yeah,
going to do this year too.
A couple little things up our sleeves.
So we're super excited about it.
If you have any questions, just email us at contact.uglyduckling@gmail.com.
Yay.
Okay,
I think
nobody has any other questions for us. Oh, yeah. You know what I really love? I love it when our customers answer the questions for us.
Yes.
I really do. It's great.
I know, because sometimes.
No, really. Yeah, sometimes we do, like on Facebook and stuff like that.
Facebook is the hardest, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we ship worldwide right now, just for everyone to know that. So yes, that is that. You does that say cuticles and nails? You've high quality products. Of course, everyone wants a piece of you.
That's very nice.
That's
Thank
very
you.
Well, you know what?
Thank
We
you.
want to do products that we are proud of, that that we use only exclusively, and the girls are proud of when they go to the shows, and
It's easy to talk. It's easy to talk about and teach with something that you love.
Are so passionate about.
Yeah, for sure.
Believe in so much, right?
Okay.
Have we bored them enough?
Probably.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
We just like to hang out. This is fun.
I know it's like a break in the day.
Yeah.
Well,
Once you get started, it's hard to stop.
I know. That's why I keep saying, well.
Okay.
Are we done yet?
No, I like it. Okay, guys. I guess
Okay.
we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Hold on, we're not done yet. Bye.
Bye.